My bad, my bad. I hit the wrong button. So sorry. I will try and do it differently. Hold on. I need to go back. Why? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why my screen is not showing. Let me close this out. Close that out. All right. Let's try that again. Sorry. My bad. No, I didn't get struck. I hit the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. It's the wrong button. Sorry. And I cannot find. There it is. Okay. All right. That's better. Sorry. No. Exactly, Tiny. It's all because of you. Sorry. Okay. All right. Let me pick it back up from here. Okay. I know. I was like, oh, it's been an hour. Gotta go. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to hit the comment, like the comment section is right below the in stream button in in StreamYards, and I was trying to hit the comment section to open it up on my screen so I didn't have to keep going and looking on my so I didn't have to keep looking on my phone because it's so much smaller. And yeah, it is what it is. I was like, damn it, hit the wrong one. Here we go. Okay. Oh, now I can't even get. I don't even want to look at the comments on here. I'm trying to get to it. Hold on. View channel live, part 2. Oh, it won't even let me. Okay. All right. Who knows? Okay. All right, here we go. We'll go. That was faster than a chasing. It wasn't on purpose. I ended up in a scary place. I'm sorry. Okay. It was not me being anti Midwest goodbyes. It was just me hitting in stream instead of comments in the upper right hand corner. Sorry. Hopefully everybody will come back. Anywho, all right. So back to it. So the C&D requested that the defendant retract her defamatory statements and publish an apology. Instead, the defendant acted in flagrant disregard of the C&D by doubling down on her actionable statements and continuing to defame the plaintiffs. Even after plaintiffs provided actual knowledge of the truth to defendant concerning the hospital lawsuit and the oh, here, let's go. Sorry, we had already read that. Sorry. The defendant said, I believe what I was saying was true, and I'm not changing my statement. She also repeated the false and defamatory statement alleging plaintiffs engaged in fraud. She also stated, I don't give a shit about Oklahoma laws, and I don't know what's true and what's not. I go off what other people say. Listen, if you're out here running with what other people say, and it's saying somebody committed fraud or somebody killed somebody or somebody did something. So the C&D provided the accurate info and what was the date. So the C&D was sent to her on May 15th. When she got it, I'm not sure. That live stream that we were just looking at was done, I think, the 16th or the 17th. Yeah, on the 16th, she did that live stream. They say they provided her the proof that the hospital lawsuit was not anything to do with the church. Sorry, that it was the actual lawsuit and the accident. They gave the context behind that, and they say that they provided the context behind them purchasing. Actually, the in-laws. So her in-laws their in-laws, according to this, the in-laws wanted to build a house on their land that they have an office and a shop at. And so they sold a part of their land for their in-laws to come in. Now, I don't know how land, whatever that goes, right? Okay. So my understanding, and I heard her say it today in a clip, that she did actually apologize for the hospital thing. I could not find that. That may be a members only. I'm not a member of hers, so that may be a members only stream. Not sure. But she did actually apologize, not like a full-on apology. It's just like, my bad kind of a thing. But she did acknowledge that the hospital thing was incorrect. But she did not take back and stood on the fraud parts. So, they better be careful bumping gums about folks that don't need subs to pay their lawsuits. Listen, I don't know anything about this man's finances, nor do I want to know. What I do know is if he's out here owning land that's worth $900,000, I think he can potentially afford, and maybe he can afford to pay for an attorney without having to ask anybody else for that assistance. I don't know. He could be, he could be house land poor for all I know. I don't really know that, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't get why we can't just like stick to the facts. The truth and the facts. Anywho, all right. In publishing those statements on May 16th, 2025, the defendant admitted she recklessly disregarded the truth when she made false statements about plaintiffs and when the truth was available to the defendant in public records. She also admitted to profiting from defaming plaintiffs in that video when she said, "I need that ad revenue, babies." So I disagree with that one because we heard her say, somebody asked her and had to start over. Hey, BGB, good to see you. So listen, in StreamYards, I went to go hit the comments box, and on my screen, the comments box is right below InStream, and I know it takes two buttons, right? You have to go, yes, you want to confirm it? My mind was like, yes, I want to go ahead and confirm it. And I confirmed it, and boom, it was gone. That's how it worked. Sorry, my bad. Minding your own business is free. Too bad she hasn't learned that. Listen, I don't know. I can't imagine being actively in multiple court cases. Like, that seems to be a theme at this point in time for a lot of people around here. The level of stress that I would have being involved in that would be astronomical for me. I just couldn't handle that. I wouldn't want to handle that. But I don't know. Hold on. Somebody asked me something else. I was gonna say, hey, Adrian, good to see you. And deeds. Okay. It's a land transferred, and every state is different. If it's just amongst family, there are workarounds for tax reasons. So publicly, you might only see $1. Okay. When the actual cost of the property is not $1. Okay. Okay. I can't imagine not having a job and being litigious, but here we are. I can't imagine waking up that petty, but here we are. All right. Okay. So she also admitted, okay, so the ad revenue, that's what I was going to talk about. Somebody asked her in her chat, is she going to play any music today? And she says, no, I got to get my monetization. Her monetization had to be played that day. So she was like, I got to get my money, babies. To me, that had to do with the fact that if she played music, she'd get in the yellow or the red potentially, instead of, like, they're trying to make it seem like she's saying these false statements just to get the money. But I disagree with that because I don't, that's not what she's talking about. But maybe they don't know about monetization and how music affects it. So they may not know the context there. So that one I think for sure is going away 100%, that she did it for money, right? Like, I don't think that's it at all. On May 17, 2025, the defendant again falsely accused Mr. Mathis of fraud by publishing the following image as a community post on her YouTube channel. So it's Granny's watching. It says, okay, who's the author? Laughing face, laughing face. Love them. It's a picture of a guy. It's too dark, so I can't see who the guy is, if it's somebody or not. I don't know. It says C&D. This paperwork disallows anyone from exposing my fraud and telling the truth. And this is definitely not retaliation. Smiley face, smiley face. So again, we're talking about somebody exposing his fraud. Okay. All right. On May 20th, 2025, during a live broadcast on the defendant's YouTube channel, the defendant stated, "Fuck that cease and desist." Oh, I didn't go find that one. Hold on. Let's see if we can find that one real quick. May 20th. All right. I did see May 19th, but I didn't see. Give me a second here. What is this? July, so 2 months. Let me go this one. Hold on. Uno momento, because I did not see this as part of it, or else I would have already had it up. So let's see. They claim. Okay. Okay, skipped over that one. All right, let's switch over to here then, and let's hear. I got to listen. So if I got to listen, guess what you're about to do? You're going to listen too. Okay, so we're going to go right before this timestamp and see what.
You're sitting here and call somebody else's child an it, say you don't care about them, but then had the nerve to also cry, what about my missing child? Bring him home. Bring him home. He let him right into a drama hole, didn't he? That's all Tony Mathis said. Hey, Tony Mathis, in your cease and desist, you said you didn't hire TikTokers to dox people? You denying it? Or you denying it? Oh, yeah, most of them are at the highest tier, greedy bastard. Have any of you ever heard?
Has anybody seen receipts of that? I am curious. I've never heard that before. Has anybody seen receipts that Tony had hired TikTokers to dox people? I don't even know who the TikTokers are. Maybe that's the whole 2 a.m. girls that they were talking about earlier. But has anybody seen that? I don't know. I haven't seen it, but again, there's a lot that I didn't follow, so I have no freaking clue. Okay, I'll keep playing it while I wait for the chat to catch up.
And I'm being honest.
Okay.
Of a parent of a missing child having a YouTube channel and being involved in drama.
I can't.
Anybody?
Okay.
Then you go to top it off. Not only does he have himself a YouTube channel during the most crucial time of his child's disappearance.
All right, we're going to skip over that one.
Had the nerve to also cry, what about my missing child? Bring him home. Bring him home.
Oh, we did that one. Your cease and desist. Let's go to
He let him right into a drama hole, didn't he? Said it. Cease and desist, left, right, and center. Now complaining no one is talking. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Are you detached from reality? Do you not know how the internet works? So people can talk about your missing child so long as they say Chris and Katie are guilty? You know what's funny? I have never told you all what I think fully happened, right? I can't believe they thought this litigation would go somewhere, but also makes me sad for Grady that you had to fight it. Yeah, the fight's not over, unfortunately. But I guess he should have sent out cease and desist. He shouldn't have, Vicky. Maybe he should get them for breaking their NDA. Hey, Amy. All three parents have tried to silence people? Yeah, I do.
No, that's not
I
about
understand
them.
why they tried. Nobody's talking about my son. What about my son? And it's like, look what you've done to people that were talking about your son. He sent out, what, seven cease and desist early on.
Okay, also not about them.
They didn't.
Interesting.
Because you know he was ready to see who was on the board, bitch.
Oh, hold on one second.
And, whatever else he's doing. I heard the channel's not even.
I wonder if the Rogers family ever, filed their yearly fiscal report.
Yeah, no, they missed it.
They did.
They
miss
didn't.
it. Interesting.
Because you know he was ready to see who was on the board, bitch. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, and Tony cease and desist, he said that I ruined his reputation, caused him ridicule, blah, blah, blah. But 3 days after he was hired, he was proudly saying how he's the most hated man in America.
Oh my
so
God.
how are you going to say that I caused all that? Maybe the disrespect you've shown to Calaparis and now Sebastian Rogers is why people dislike you, Tony. Not because I point out you did a quick deed. So after losing litigation in Pennsylvania, dummy. And I'm sorry, let me correct the fact that out of 25 lawsuits, no, it wasn't against a hospital. I mean, it wasn't a church that sued Tony, it was a hospital. As if that makes the 25 lawsuits you've been in any better or any worse. Right.
Tina said Texana even said on camera her and a few.
Girl, was that the retraction? Tell me that was not. Is that the apology? No, that can't be. That's the retraction that happened? I couldn't find it because I didn't even go to this stream. No, that can't be. Hold on. Let's go back. Well, I don't even want to go back. Let me just stay focused because I'm looking for the Okay. Okay. Here we go.
But
Right. Like I said, really, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. I don't know. They're going to need to hire quite a few attorneys. Maybe the one that sent that ridiculous cease and desist will take on this case for them. Who knows?
yeah, I'm wondering. Funny they didn't fire back like they said they were going to do on that following Monday.
Yeah, he said right away that they were gonna file. He even brings up punitive damages.
You
It
want me
came
to
out,
go
remember,
back?
Friday night.
They didn't.
I'll go back.
Interesting.
This is
You know he
going
was
back.
ready to see who was on the board, bitch.
Oh yeah, that's right. So and Tony cease and desist. He said that I ruined his reputation, caused him ridicule, blah blah blah. But 3 days after he was hired, he was proudly saying how he's the most hated man in America.
Oh my
So
God.
how are you going to say that I caused all that? Maybe
What an
maybe
idiot.
the disrespect you've shown to Calipari and now Sebastian Rogers is why people dislike you, Tony. Not because I pointed out you did a quick deed. So after losing litigation in Pennsylvania, dummy. And I'm sorry, let me correct the fact that out of 25 lawsuits, no, it wasn't against a hospital. I mean, it wasn't a church that sued Tony, it was a hospital. As if that makes the 25 lawsuits you've been in any better or any
better.
worse. Right.
Tina said Texana even said on camera.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know about anybody else. Just because that sentence started with "I'm sorry," that doesn't sound like a genuine retraction or anything like that to me. But again, whatever there. Okay, let's keep going. We're
They didn't.
looking for the fuck the C and D.
Interesting.
Because you know he was ready to see who was on the board, bitch.
Oh no,
Oh
we
yeah,
already
that's
got.
right. So and Tony cease and desist. We need to hire quite a few attorneys. Maybe the one that sent that ridiculous cease and desist will take on this case for them. Who knows?
Yeah.
Told him.
He called the detective in her area. Is that kind of like how he gave the FBI his peen slip?
Yeah, and that's kind of like how they his current cease and desist attorney tried threatening me that I'm looking at jail time for defamation, and yet they did the same thing in the PA litigation, which the judge pointed out how many times they mentioned like cops being involved, but yet there's no police involved in their fuckery. There's no charges against me anywhere. Just like when he said the FBI was watching us. Fuck off.
Why would he call though? I mean, obviously he's a little worried about it, or he wouldn't call. Like if you thought it was just bullshit, you just
I think he's
ignore it.
lying. I don't think
You
he
do?
called anybody. Yeah.
Parents of missing children
Skipping
and
to
latch
the
on
next
someone
one.
like the leech you are, and then label yourself a national spokesman, and then cry to the courts how you're a private figure. You're a fucking weirdo. Your cease and desist was as weak as your fucking litigation, and if you even attempt to pursue it against me, it'll be seen for exactly what you're saying Texanas is, which is a way to teach you a lesson because you talk too much, you fucking weirdo. Can't stand them. You can't stand them. Meanwhile, what are any of them doing for Sebastian? Any
Nothing.
searches in your area, Clue?
Not that I've seen.
No. So as Dog the Bounty Hunter sitting on news, chasing down any fucking type of hot case that he can to stay relevant. So this Google search of Dog the Bounty Hunter stops coming up. Is he alive? Because that's the main thing that comes traveling all the time
Okay.
to Tennessee. I wonder, are you doing that on the guise
One
of selling
last one.
cranes when you're traveling to PA for no reason? You're traveling to Tennessee all the time. Is that under the guise of selling cranes? Are you writing that off as a business expense? Fuck that
Wait,
cease and
what?
desist. I'm using
What?
toilet paper, but I don't know
Wait
if
a
it's paper,
second.
it's
What'd she
toilet
just say?
So he either isn't working there anymore, or his performance has plummeted. Salesman for cranes. Where did I read that?
paper. That was me. That was through my
Oh, in your thing. Yeah,
and my
your
cease and
thing.
desist.
Okay.
Here, I'll
God,
find it.
so many damn lawsuits. It's hard to keep where the info comes from.
This is what his attorney wrote. He is a successful sales representative for Craneworks. At least he was before you destroyed his character. That's what
See?
it writes here. At least he was before you destroyed his character.
Okay, so he either isn't working there anymore, or his performance has plummeted, and he's blaming you.
Right, which would have nothing to do with me.
No.
Give a fuck what he says. Maybe the traveling all the time to Tennessee. I wonder, are you doing that on the guise of selling cranes when you're traveling to PA for no reason? You're traveling to Tennessee all the time. Is that under the guise of selling cranes? Are you writing that off as a business expense? Fuck that cease and desist. I've used that as toilet paper, but I don't like the type of paper it is. It's a little grainy. I think it may hurt. So instead, I'll line my cat's litter box with it. I'll recycle it one way or another.
Oh.
Wasn't that how we met the other parents?
Oh. Okay. Let me go back to the documents. That was a little rough. Yikes. Okay, let's go see what else they claimed. Okay. On May 20th, during a live broadcast, that's the one we just seen. Okay. All right. Okay. Plaintiffs have suffered greatly while the defendant profits off publishing false and defamatory statements about plaintiffs. The plaintiffs have been doxxed. I haven't seen them be doxxed personally, but I also feel like if you're putting yourself out there as a like PR person or a representative for somebody, like your name and information is going to be out there. So I don't know how I feel about that particular one. Threatened people on the internet can be kookaluku. And so do I believe that he has received maybe one maybe 16, maybe 35 threats, death threats, life threats, whatever threats, sure. I mean, we got people out here calling CPS and calling welfare checks and all that, you know. So that I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that one. Definitely believe at some point in time he was too involved in it to not get at least one threat. Okay. And humiliated. I'm just going to be fair. He left his camera on for himself, and any humiliation I feel like that he may have suffered from, you know, potentially from people seeing things they shouldn't have, like that would have been on him. But humiliation for the rest of it, like I don't know. I'm interested to hear more about that, like what they are claiming was done to them as far as that goes, because it's not in here, but I am curious about that part. The defendant's false statements have injured plaintiff Tony Mathis's occupation, as he has lost important contracts and accounts, and he fears his job may be in jeopardy as his employer is not pleased with the public attention placed upon one of its top producing employees. Now, again, you signed up to help out. I get that part. Okay. Help looks different for everybody. I'm not a fan. But you think these people haven't, like, I feel like easily come through with the thing from your employer that says that you you know, they received emails, calls, text, anything about you. I feel like that would be easy to prove as well. So depending on what that proof looks like, who knows if that's, you know, what kind of truth that even has to do with or not. All right. Mr. Mathis's financial integrity, trustworthiness, and reputation is vital to his ability to maintain trust with current and potential customers and perform his chosen occupation. The defendant's false and defamatory statements have caused Mr. Mathis to lose valuable contracts and accounts and put him in constant worry of losing his job. I definitely think he's going to have to prove that. But we'll have to look up what Oklahoma's laws are, because in some laws, hey, MJ, in some laws, in some states, you do not have to prove what the loss was. I don't know if Oklahoma is one of those or not. I can't imagine all these lawsuits. I'll keep my money. We can settle it outside of court. Come to Tennessee and we could work it out. Listen, if it was me, I'd be like, listen, I fucked up. Okay? I fucked up. I said it. It is what it is. How do we end this right here, right now? Like, just, we all can move on from here. Fuck you. You fuck me. All right, fine. Great. We're done. I would not get to fighting this, and I just wouldn't. For me, I wouldn't do that. And I get that some people are like, fuck that. That lets them win. It takes your, you know, it makes you silent. It gives you, you know, this is not free speech. What was said is not free speech at this point. Like, free speech is actually free. You don't have to pay anything to defend it, right? So this was not, in my opinion, of course, this was not free speech. This was reckless. It was her recklessly. And she said in that clip today, she had heard this stuff from JLR. Girl, who decides to use JLR as a reliable source of information? What? Jacob, do we have a baby? Oh, congratulations. Yay. Finally. Sheesh. I know that mama's going to be sleeping well for a little while. She's going to be tired. Okay. Okay, Chasing said his own behavior on the internet could have done that. That's true, Ash, but what he is saying is, so I think that is the difference. I seen Chasing a second ago say, like, think like a juror. A juror sitting in there doesn't know that, like, there was a peen slip. A juror on the panel doesn't know, like, the things that were said or done or the behind the scenes with at night. Like, it doesn't know any of these things. It's being presented these facts in front of them. So the fact, what they're saying, what this side is claiming are the facts right now, is it's a fact she said these things. It's a fact that we told her in May and gave her proof that these things were not true. It's a fact that after we provided her that cease and desist, she said, fuck that cease and desist. She doesn't care if it's not true because that's what she heard. And in her heart, it's true, by golly. You know, so the jury is going to look at that and they're going to have to determine. And Granny will come in, her attorney will come in and say, well, this is actually what was said. This is the information that was provided. Here's what was said. And they're going to present their evidence as well. For me, looking at these clips and looking at, you know, just those 2 screenshots, like, you did absolutely do it. It would have been, like, to me, unless she can show that she actually did a full-on, because that wasn't a retraction in my opinion, but maybe they would accept that. I don't know. Maybe they missed that live stream. Who knows? But unless she can show that she has done that apology and retraction after the cease and desist came, then maybe then it'd be like, hey, look, this is what it is. You know, I don't know. Yeah, but the juror will know all of that. It can be put in evidence when he opens himself up to discovery. He has said the same kind of stuff about others suing him. It's all stupid, but it will all come in. I don't know that it will. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. A jury is going to be a lot different than the court of Krama. It could go either way. Yeah, it could. In my opinion, her audio would not go over well with the jury. I don't know. What did JP say? It's super easy to just settle and move along, but when YouTube simps pay for a lawyer and trips to court, etc., she won't just settle. Yeah, the ego is, there is no way. The way I listened to, I think I listened to Queen for a while earlier today because I was listening to them read it. And everybody, like, you got Julie up there throwing out more defamatory things, right? And she's throwing it out left and right. People in the chat are having to type out constantly. They're typing out in chat. The things said on panel aren't Queen's opinions or the people in chat. It's like they're all trying to cover each other and trying to make sure that it's out there. They're just like, they're throwing it out there. But why? Anywho, but in that whole thing was like, everybody was like, Granny needs to fight this. Granny needs to, like, you know, do this and do that. Yeah, it's easy to say. Like, for me, it's easy to say when I'm not involved in it like that. My name isn't on it, you know? All these lawsuits are stupid and ridiculous and a waste of time. So, Ash, here's my question. I don't disagree with you. But are you basically saying, so let's just say, right, remove the other stuff, okay? Because ultimately, Granny's not suing him at this point. Granny's not suing him. He's suing her. So he's saying, she said, I committed fraud. She said, I stole from a church. So are you feeling like she should just be able to say those things about people with no consequence to that? And I'm not saying I would say that no matter who it was, I'd be having that conversation. But I am curious to know, like, the thoughts. That's why I asked you to stick around, because I knew you'd have a pretty, yeah, she was reckless as fuck. I've seen other YouTube cases where almost nothing was let in. If it was against the plaintiff, the judge said that would require a separate suit against the plaintiff with defendant as plaintiff. Interesting. Just like people saying about how it needed that police report. Like, how does that have shit to do with that? I don't know. I don't know at all. Let's think here. Jury trial. Unlikely in my opinion, but who the hell knows? Tony on how many panels? Granny on how many lives? Discovery will suck for sure on one side. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they like pulled the TikTok live streams, they may have a few more. But I don't think he did by this time. By May, and I mean, we're pulling this shit from April, May, and April and May of this year. March, April, and May of this year. I haven't seen him on any panels. Imagine going live every day and actually saying and doing things that land you in court constantly. I couldn't imagine. People say all the time, this could be anybody. This could be you. No, it couldn't be me. Because listen, if you think I wouldn't bring my ass out here, let somebody sue me for some shit. And I actually said it. Now, don't get it twisted. If I never said those things, I never inferred those things, I didn't double down on those things, you best fucking believe that I'm going to absolutely log into this fucking StreamYard, fire up a live stream and say, hey, yo, I fucked up. When I said that chasing, I don't know, eats glue, it wasn't right. It makes her look, in not a good light. And I am so sorry to chasing. That was never my intentions. I'm going to move on with my content because me and chasing going back and forth this whole time has just not been productive at all. And I don't want this to go any further. Let's move on. 'Tis what it is. And then I'll probably be petty and throw some jabs and then I'll log off. I'd go take a fucking break so that I could get some perspective. My opinions on Julie. She's trying really hard to be a main character and is begging for a lawsuit. Last week, she tried to sue BJ, and a lawyer told her it's a no-go. Stop it. She is definitely trying to get some, Essentially, nothing the plaintiff has done will come in. So, I don't have a dog in this fight, but I find it absurd to go around suing people. Forget who we like and who we care about. Words and actions only. That's what I'm trying to consider is just what this says. I hope Tim doesn't sue me for saying no one has ever seen. Oh God, Zoe, I can't. Who's Tony? Tony Mathis. He was a spokesperson for Seth Rogers. Has anyone come in to say yet that Tim is a little bitch? No, actually, I don't think that they have. So here you go.
Tim needs to. Tim is a little bitch.
There you go. Okay. If I depended on YouTube for income, I'd watch my mouth. Couldn't be me either. I know. If they are recorded, sure, but this is a whole separate issue that he's suing for. Were he and GW arguing back then? I think again, to be fair, they were. Yeah, none of this is legal advice. I am not a lawyer that I'm aware, and nobody showed me credentials in my chat to be a lawyer. So this is just the court of public opinion. That's it. That's all. That's it. He is a YouTuber and a TikToker. Was a lot of that time. And yes, he did panels talking smack back then. They all did. Yes, but we're not talking about back then. See, you guys are you're bringing up the shit from, back, you're talking about like injunction times, right? This we're talking about right now. We're talking about April of 2025. So about 4 months ago. No, March of 2025 to May of 2025. That's like in the last 2 months. I don't think he's been on panels like that. Maybe one panel. I don't even know that I've seen him on panels since then. I don't know. Gangsters move in silence. That's all I do know, and that's crazy. Crazy. Yes, he was on TikTok. He has appeared on YouTube. That does not make him a 1099 like we are earning revenue on YouTube. Okay, so public figure. Chasing, I can't remember. All right, I wanted to read. Let me actually. Hold, please. Thank you. I heard somebody the other day say they can't stand the fact when people are not prepared and don't have it. But is a volunteer public spokesperson for victims, for families of victims of a crime considered a public persona in civil legal proceedings. That's what I want. That's what I wondered is I seen somebody else saying he's a public person. People can give the opinions on him. And I was curious of what let me close this out for a second. We'll come back to it. Let's go to this one. I think it's this one. Nope, this one. All right, the general rule, public versus private figure. A public figure, including limited purpose public figures, must provide actual in a defamation law, whether someone is a private individual or public figure matters because public figures must prove actual malice, that the statement was made with knowledge or falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. Private individuals need only prove negligence. Oh, I mean, that's a good difference. Okay. Types of public figures: all purpose public figures, people with pervasive fame and influence, celebrities, top politicians, such as that. Limited purpose public figures are private individuals who voluntarily inject themselves into a particular public controversy to influence the outcome. So I do believe he would be considered a limited purpose public figure. Someone who voluntarily acts as a spokesperson for victims' families, especially in media interviews, press conferences, or advocacy campaigns, can become a limited purpose public figure for issues related to that specific. For factors courts to consider: did they choose to step into the public eye, or were they dragged in? Okay, he chose. Did they use press conferences, interviews, social media to influence public opinion? Yes. Is their prominence limited to the specific issue, the crime and its aftermath, or broader? No, I'd say it's pretty specific to that. So I think what that actually speaks to is, because it is still considered a public figure, he must prove the actual malice, which is that the statement was made with knowledge of falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. So that would be my next question is, was the statement made with knowledge of falsity or reckless disregard for the truth? What say you? I'm going to switch over to our documents. I am curious. If he defined himself as a public speaker of any sort, I feel that could affect that. Yes, limited purpose would be my guess. Okay. Of course, Brittany was blamed for this. She actually raised the money in her GoFundMe to pay for the lawyer for him to sue Granny. That's the current narrative. Okay, so you would vote reckless disregard. Well, he proved it was made with knowledge of falsity. Okay. This is chaos that happens when there are no boundaries to mankind. Be a good human and this shit won't happen. I've been subject of lies on here and it sucks. I just don't think wasting the court's time is the right answer. And I don't think it's his goal to win either. I actually think that it's his goal more so for her to actually apologize to me. And the reason why is because most, I'll put this up for now. Most defamation lawsuits that are online related that have been won in Oklahoma, most of them have gone for a hell of a lot more than 75,000. Like we're talking 200,000, 150,000. Like the jury awarded people a lot more than 75,000. At first, when I seen the 75,000, which we're going to get to, but at first when I seen it, I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then as I read more and looked into more of the like case law that they have, like it showed a hell of a lot more the juries were awarding. And I was like, oh, fucking yikes. And one was a YouTuber, or no, not a YouTuber, maybe a TikToker. I don't remember. But one was like a influencer online who got sued for defamation for what they said. And they got 200,000 by the jury. I do think though that the 75,000 keeps it from going into federal courts, so that helps the anything over 75,000 is handled by the feds. Anything under 75,000 is handled by the state. I do believe that's the reason why he went that way, is so that it can be handled in the state. Just my thing. Okay, totally reckless. Reckless disregard could be inferred as failing to do her due diligence of vetting the info. Okay. Email to Tony must prove actual malice. Knew it was the hospital versus church confusion combined with no verification can still meet reckless disregard. And not keep it for herself, right? Right, MJ. Interesting. Lining a cat box with a cat with a cyst and is there what? Lining a cat box with the cyst and diseased is a reckless disregard. I don't know. I don't even know. Grandma, you been in the gummies? I don't even know what that means. I feel like I'm missing something. Under Oklahoma law, Tony is almost certainly private regarding this church robbery claim. Tony is almost certainly private regarding this church robbery claim. I don't think so. I don't think that's private at all. I mean, it's his private business, yes, but he volunteering to be the spokesperson made him out in the public, which, you know, people then will dig. So he sent her the facts in the C&D, and she continued the narrative that he did XYZ, knowledge of falsity. That's what I think. Don't get on YouTube and say someone stole from a church just because the word Baptist was in the docket. That's true. None of them. See, his private life had nothing to do with the Sebastian case. I don't think people are seeing this. I don't see that, Chasing. I was actually on a jury trial, and I awarded a civil suit of $1.7 million for slander. Also, Oklahoma asked me what case. Oh, I don't know if I want to. You'd wipe yourself with the C&D? Listen, you may wipe yourself with it, but would you? So you would just keep on going, Captain Avi? If the court labels him limited purpose public figure for missing child advocacy, the false church robbery claim is unrelated and should still be judged under. Oh, see, I disagree. I think I'm okay with, we can agree to disagree on that one. JP, is that kind of like when a nurse asks you if you have a living will and testament at your doctor's checkup? What? Why would a nurse ask that? Per the Supreme Court in Oklahoma, a person may be a public figure for one limited range of issues, but retain their private figure status for all other aspects of their life. Oh, now that's interesting. Or being stupid enough to think the hospital name was the name of the church. Listen, that part, I'm like, deeds, yeah, living will and, oh God, okay. That's what GW said in the clip. Oh, I don't know about any of this. I just like to listen to Nunya talk. I like to listen to you talk, but you don't go live anymore, so here we are. Granny called it, assist and deceased. Oh my God, I can't. I am so sorry. I did not get that at all. It just right over my head. Made him public for a limited purpose, Nunya. His private life was then looked into. I shall be taking my usual wait and see approach. But I'm curious about how this is going to play out. Perhaps a precedent will be set. I'm with you, Jenlu. I'm over there in the wait and see area. I am curious to see what the response to it is going to be and to see how it plays out in the court. I don't think this one is going to play out the same way, only because they are blatant false claims, and like, you were sent it, you acknowledged that you were sent it, you acknowledged that they tried to clear it up for you, and you chose to ignore it. That's the only thing. Just the words before the cease and desist, not so much. Like, you could claim plausible deniability, right? It's the words after the cease and desist that make a difference to me. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this, because we're going to get through this. What's so ironic is the fact that they got their information from JLR about someone else's amount of lawsuits, right? Go figure. Go figure. Tony is a POS. All he is doing is trying to mitigate his losses. Hold on. Mitigate his losses he's going to have in PA. Even if you don't like GW, people, the Tony lawsuit is BS. He's been sued and suing people for years. While that could be the truth, niece. Again, what he did before this, to me personally, I'm only looking at these particular documents. I'm trying to look at it from all sides, right? Even if he wins this lawsuit, okay? Hear me out. Even if he won this lawsuit, it does not mitigate his loss in Pennsylvania. One does not cancel out the other. Unless they end up to be for the same amount, maybe. Then it's just like, hey, you owe me, I owe you, let's call it a squash. Maybe then. But it does not, even if he wins in Oklahoma, that does not stop her from potentially getting her damages in Pennsylvania. that I'm aware of, there's nothing that would, one does not outweigh the other. So that's first. He could be a piece of shit all day, every day. That does not prove that he committed fraud or fraudulent conveyance. It does not prove that he robbed a bank, robbed a church. Like, none of that. Like, a lot of people out here are pieces of shit. They may have not have robbed a church. Like, that's all I'm trying to look at. Like, take the personal feelings of how you may have seen this person interact, or you don't like them or whatever. And it goes both ways. Take the personal feelings for Granny out of it too, and look at it that way. So look at it like just that side of it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. While you're looking, have you been able to figure out if Oklahoma has jurisdiction? I just joined, so I may have missed it. We did look it up, and jurisdiction is going to be something they have to discuss. It has a possibility. There is one possibility of it staying in Oklahoma, but I'm guessing that Granny will probably fight the jurisdiction on it, and it's going to be up to the courts to say yes or no if it can be in Oklahoma. But there is, because the harm came to an Oklahoma resident by the words, that is like what qualifies it there, but doesn't guarantee it there. So prior lawsuits must be substantially related to be admissible. Okay, so you could say he sued people 25 times. I don't know how many times he won. I have no clue what his history is because I've never dug into him, because nothing about his prior lawsuits mattered when he was covering a missing child. So there's that too. So it'll all play out the way it should. It'll definitely it'll definitely play out. Like, nobody has the answers here at all. I'm not saying cancel out losses. I'm saying recoup his money from what he will lose in Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and maybe that's the case. Maybe that is why he's doing it, perhaps. Is maybe he's saying, I know I'm about to lose $75K in Pennsylvania. I can't imagine, like, the hard part to me even then is, like, I think there's like 8 to 9 maybe plaintiffs in that would have to pay. So for each person to then owe 75,000 times 8, that seems like a lot of punitive damage to me. What is that? Hold on, let me do the math real quick. So 75,000 times, let's call it 8 people. It may be more than that. I mean, that's 600,000 you got awarded for punitive damages. That seems super high. But yeah, that may be why he's doing it. Nobody knows. I don't know. But he lives there, and he suffered the alleged harm, yes. And his job is there, yes. A lot of shady people sue and win all the time. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Hold on. I don't see Indy saying anything. Oh. The comment she made earlier. Okay. All right. Okay. There needs to be a documented financial loss to claim he's trying to recoup the Pennsylvania loss. Oh, good point. Good point. There is no proof that he has lost anything in Pennsylvania at this time. So to claim that there is that mitigation, that's true. That's a good point. This is all so stupid. Yes, it is. He has to prove damages. Okay, so let me go ask. Hold on. For a Oklahoma civil defamation case, does proof of damages, oh wait, our proof, hold on, our proof of damages, both financial and emotional required. Let's go see what they say. In Oklahoma civil defamation cases, whether you must prove damages, financial or emotional, depends on whether the alleged defamation is classified as libel, slander per se, or per quote. Okay. Defamation per se, certain statements are considered so harmful that damages are presumed. All right, let's go back to this document because I think we're headed back that way, and I'm not going to be reading the chat, okay? So, you know, keep it copacetic. All right. This one? Yep. All right. So we're going to go through here. Mr. Mathis's financial integrity, trustworthiness, and reputation is vital to his ability to maintain trust with current and potential customers to perform his chosen occupation. The defendant's false and defamatory statements have caused Mr. Mathis to lose valuable contracts and accounts to put him in constant worry of losing his job. Hold on. Mr. Mathis' trustworthiness and reputation are also vital to his voluntary work on behalf of the father of a missing child. That father, along with many other parents of missing children, rely upon Mr. Mathis to be a voice. Okay. I didn't know he was working with anybody else. Rely upon Mr. Mathis to be a voice and advocate to raise awareness and publicity for grieving families grasping at a glimmer of hope of seeing their children again. All right. 47. The defendant's false and defamatory statements damaged Mr. Mathis' capacity to to serve others as a spokesman for families of missing children. 48. Defendant's false and defamatory statements also damaged Mrs. Mathis's reputation. So here's where the wife comes in. Damaged her reputation in the community, exposed her to public humiliation and threats of harm, and caused her severe physical discomfort and emotional distress. Okay. All right. So I get she was on the thumbnail. I get it was a discussion about her parents, her family, all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's how she's coming into it as far as that goes, because it was a conversation about them. All right. So count 1 is libel and libel per se. All right. The defendant published written false and defamatory statements against plaintiffs. These defamatory statements expose plaintiffs to public hatred, contempt, ridicule, and or disgrace. These statements falsely accuse plaintiffs of crimes and moral failings, thus constituting libel per se. Defendant communicated these statements to persons other than plaintiffs. Those persons reasonably understood the statements and accusations to be about the plaintiffs. The statements and accusations were false. The defendant's libelous statements harmed the plaintiff's reputation, standing in the community, occupation, and exposed plaintiffs to public hatred, contempt, and ridicule. The defendant knew the statements were false, should have known they were false, had serious doubt whether the statements were true or false, or should have had serious doubts whether the statements were true or false. The defendant's statements do not enjoy constitutional protections as they were made knowingly and or recklessly with reckless disregard of the truth. Now, this one I felt like was like, well, damn. That one line, I was like, oh, that's interesting there. Okay. All right. Let's see. Even after having actual knowledge of the truth, the defendant maliciously, recklessly, and or intentionally repeated and republished the libelous statements about the plaintiffs. 60. Defendant's publication of the false and defamatory accusations directly and proximately caused substantial and permanent damage to the plaintiffs. 61. It was reasonably foreseeable that the defendant's libelous statements would be republished by third parties and social media accounts. 62. Third parties and social media accounts did republish the defendant's libelous statements, and defendant desired that outcome as it increased her profits. Again, I think this part I disagree with. I disagree with number 62 mostly because they're basically saying a clip channel showed this, and by a clip channel showing it, let's just say, a clip channel showing it means Granny made more money. That's not true. That's not how monetization works. That's not how any of this stuff works. So that part I disagree. I think they just really don't know about the monetization stuff. But I would say that it is absolutely possible that third parties and social media accounts could republish it, whether it be a clip from a clip channel, whether it be like somebody else playing Granny's stream to show the screenshots that she showed or the information that she showed and just repeating it. I don't know. It was not you. It wasn't me, Clippy. That's what you can say. It wasn't me. Nothing has been awarded yet in Pennsylvania because there's an appeal, but the PA judge did cite the anti-slap was granted partially due to Tony's message to Barbecue saying, I don't care if I win. I want to inflict financial pain. Yeah. I mean, that like that's if that's how they got the win in PA, good for them. Like that doesn't make a difference to me. You know, like it's still that will not affect this at all, in my opinion, from what we've read so far. Niece, I haven't seen the CND, but in the clip Nunya played, GW said he wrote damage to his job, not that he lost it. They assumed that he lost it. They went on to speculate that he may have lost his job from there. But in this lawsuit, it doesn't say that he lost his job. It says he's in fear of losing his job and having that job stability. That's what it says currently in this filing. So I have heard of triple damages awarded for anti-slap, but only in some states. Pennsylvania is not one of them. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't take that as fact, Nunya, without reading it for yourself. A lot of misinformation flying around out here. What happened, Deets? What did I repeat? The text to Barbecue? Yeah, anything, I mean, to me, unless there's an actual like screen recording of a message shown at this point, I don't believe it. That's why I kind of was just like, oh yeah, okay. That may have been what they used to win out in Pennsylvania. I don't have a clue at all. He must show actual malice. Jessica knew the claim was false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Example, she could have easily confirmed Baptist is a hospital, not a church, but didn't. Presumed damages in case of defamation per se, accusation of a crime. Tony may not need to prove actual monetary loss. I don't know what's backed in that situation at all. Yeah, no, okay, let me put that out there. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I have not seen it for myself. So again, take that as rumor. 100% take that as rumor. All right. I'm not going to go through all of these because they basically are saying the same exact thing, just for the different, it's literally just the same lines. It just changes it from libel to slander. And I think the last one was false light and invasion of privacy. I am curious if maybe the invasion of privacy is where the public to private, maybe they're using that to pivot from the public to the private, perhaps. I wonder if that's what they're using. It's a church-run hospital, and she said that while live. Well, Jill, the only thing, I don't know. If he's losing anything, it's due to his local newspapers and national news. Google him, and Granny's name doesn't show up. He's hurt himself all. So here's my thing, niece. Why did anybody? We didn't ask him to come and help, right? The parents of Seth specifically, right? Seth asked him for help. It's his job to Google him before he asked for that help. I personally feel like if I go on to Google somebody because I don't like them, I'm absolutely like diving into it. If I'm looking up their name to see where they are in the newspaper and what national news or headlines they have, like that's my thing, is like it's very obvious that you are. I just can't think of a positive intent to go and look up that person. That's what I'll say. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion on anybody in that case, for public consumption at least. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm just going line by line, and because she's got a platform, all it takes is a third party to be told. I feel like a third party is it can be subs potentially. Did she say church-run hospital or just church? So I think what she's saying is she said church-run hospital at first, and then somewhere along the way it started to change too. Because she said on Nonsens's panel, she specifically says, you know, he robbed a church. Have you ever robbed a church? Because that's what Tony did. That's what she said. So he's helped 2 families. His lawsuit claims continuing to help multiple families. And again, I don't know who else he has helped or who else he is. You know, there may be people he helped behind the scenes. He didn't need to be a public person for them. I don't know. They seem like a whole different animal. Okay. So I did want to go back to this one. Hold on. Because I want to complain. I really want to know more about the false light and the invasion of privacy. So let me go. I think it's this one. Nope, it's this one. Okay. All right. So defamation per se is not on there. I'm not going to read that one. Emotional versus financial damage. Economic damages is a loss of business, a loss of income, loss of contracts, and loss of opportunities. Emotional and reputational damages, mental anguish, embarrassment, humiliation. In Oklahoma, these must usually be linked to physical symptoms if claimed alone, as explained earlier. You do not need both types. If it's per se defamation, damages can be presumed even with no proof. So now I want to know if libel per se. Okay, hold on. So libel per se. What else was it? Libel per se. I think we did have defamation. Oh, slander. Okay. Libel per se and slander. I see. Per se. Oh. Defamation basics. Hold on. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. That must be just a search of videos. Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Defamation basics. Libel. Written, printed, broadcast, or otherwise published statements. Slander. Spoken statements. Per se versus per quo. So these are per se. The statement is inherently defamatory on its face. Damages are presumed. You don't have to prove actual loss to establish liability. So here would be my question for those of you who are keeping up with us, and just thanks for those who are just hanging out. My question now is going to be, if you don't have to prove the loss, then does he have to prove that he suffered a loss of his wages, that his contracts did suffer, that there was an economic loss? I don't think he has. Okay, so Kiwi, I'm going to just put it out there. Please say that things are your opinion, because I don't want it to go left at all. Like, listen, I'm not the kind of person, I don't want to end up in some shit. And ultimately, what your opinion is, and this is for everybody in the chat, not for you, but ultimately what your opinion is of Seth, Chris, or Katie have nothing to do with this particular lawsuit that we're talking about. Okay. Yeah. I feel the same way. That's just spreading shit and just making shit worse for no reason. Chris and Katie could totally sue BHB, but that's like suing GW. What are you going to actually get? Could they? I am curious. I just Googled Tony Mathis, and JLR is only showing for you. Really? That's interesting. It's sad either way that he is a volunteer, and regardless if people like him or not, he was asked by the father to help, and he has been hated for it. I do agree there. I do agree with that. Moral of the story, if you don't know the entirety of a situation that has nothing to do with you, it probably is best to keep your mouth shut. I'm just saying. Or you don't even have to keep your mouth shut, but go out there and say, I think, in my opinion, allegedly, I heard, rumor has it. You could put, in your sentence, don't say it's a fact, right? You don't have to say that. You can say, I think, or you can say, did they do this? I heard they did, but I don't know. Yep, someone in chat said Granny's not attached to Tony when you Google him, but that's not true. Her videos do come up in that search. Okay. Doesn't have to show proof is what you presume. Okay. Yeah, it is, Tiff. Exactly. Accusations of criminal conduct. For example, robbed a church. Have a good day, Kiwi. Yeah, I apologize that throwing just random things out there isn't something I do in my chat. Sorry if that makes it unfun for you. No worries. I'm sure there's plenty of chats you can go and throw any accusation out in. They allow that. Okay, for example, robbed a church are automatically considered harmful. Tony doesn't have to prove actual financial loss to win basic liability. Interesting. I was wondering that, Chasey. She accused him of a literal crime he stole from a church. But did she accuse him of that crime after the C&D? Because after the C&D is where they made it clear this didn't happen. That's where I think changes it. Saying it in the beginning doesn't change it. Saying it after the C&D, what was said after the C&D, is what I feel like changes it. Speculative, but as a salesman, I would assume his income would be variable. Me too. So substantially establishing income medium could be hard. So Ava, my personal thing is also, I think on the flip side of it, I do feel like you'd be able to fight that because you've been off traveling, you've been off doing all these interviews, you've been in Tennessee, in Oklahoma, you've been here, you've been there, whatever, right? That has to have some impact on your sales as well if you can't be as present for those contracts. So that was kind of my thought this morning is like, how can you prove that this is, unless you have a statement from those contracts that says, we didn't go with you because we heard what somebody said online. Like outside of that, you can't prove that to me. Hey, Jack, good to see you. Hey, Mystery, good to see you. Yeah, no, it's not entertainment for me. I don't know. He won't sue. Listen, he's not going to sue him because exactly. We all know why. We all know why. There's nobody who doesn't know why he wouldn't go after him. Could the crane people know like I'm showing? Listen, anything is possible, Jill. That is possible. But I do feel like people have nip slips and can explain it away. So I don't know. Julia's lucky she hasn't been sued yet with all the stupid shit she's done and the SF stuff. Listen, she wants to. I don't know that she can afford to. I don't know her finances, but she definitely wants to be sued for sure. Yeah. I was accused of being a cunt today in chat. The sheer audacity. I mean, they may know you. Was it a friend? I feel like that's a friendly thing to do when you're, women empowering women and all. At this point, she needs to just settle with him and move on. If she wants to continue on social media, she needs to change her topics. In my opinion, his lawsuit has merit. Okay? But then there's case law we're unaware of. Well, if it's case law, I mean, are you just saying like we specifically are unaware of or that like nobody knows of? For research purposes only, I Googled choose videos and I got a mix of multiple creators. Thank you very much, Jen Lu. Appreciate that. Didn't GW say F the C and D in the same sentence as he wrote? No, Ebony. So she says F the C and D, but she's talking about the whole fraudulent conveyance subject at that time. She does then go on to say like, and I'm sorry, and she talks about the church and clears up the church shit at that time as well. But no, the rob the church and the C&D did not happen at the same time. No. Let's see. Captain, yes, they should have said, isn't a legend. Oh God, stop it. I actually support GW's idea to take his videos down and not speak on it. Jill, I think that would be a great idea. Yeah, I think that would be a good compromise. Like, it's not about shutting up. It's just about like ending the shit so you can move on, and I know it kind of sets a precedence for the next person who wants to do it, but like, it's kind of damning, it's kind of damning evidence, unfortunately. And I think her emotions may have gotten the best of her that day, or all the days or whatever. I think that's the bad part about hanging out with people who are reckless and who don't have anything to lose, and, who may not have the same challenges or struggles she, deals with. I feel bad for her. Like, she's getting it from every fucking end. Like, I'm not in any way like discounting that at all. Like, I want to make that clear. But I also think like she's not making it any better. Just saying. Last nip slip I saw was Tina D. I have PTSD for life. So does chasing. Defamation. Yeah. So that is, they don't have that. They have slander per se and libel per se is what they have right now. I'm going to stop sharing it. Basically, you know what? Actually, no. Let's do this. Let's go in here. We're going to finish this thing, by golly. If it's the last thing that we do. Hold on. Let me get the document for you real quick. Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, so the last part, so this is why it's slander. This is what you did to us, blah, blah, blah. Oh, malicious wrong is the other one. Intentional infliction, emotional distress. So basically, these are the counts against them, just confirming. And it's basically taking what they claim happened and putting it into what their actual like charges kind of a thing are. They're not charges because it's not criminal, but okay. So wherefore plaintiffs demand a jury trial and respectfully pray for relief as follows. The judgment be entered against the defendant for actual damages, compensatory damages, punitive damages, and fees not to exceed $75,000 plus interest and costs. The judgment in equity be entered against defendant in the form of a permanent injunction enjoining the defendant from making or publishing defamatory statements about the plaintiffs and for any such further relief as deemed just by this court. So, for me, the way I'm reading this is what we're asking you, judge, for is A, a jury trial. B, we want to collect money up to $75,000. And C, we want her to shut the fuck up and not say anything else that's not true about us. That's how I'm reading that. And then, of course, respectfully submitted. It was submitted by an attorney. It was not submitted by Lesniak. It is an attorney. I did Google the attorney, and he won some award for like best attorney of the year or something like that back in 2019. Who knows what he's like now? I don't know. Don't care. But I do feel like a good compromise would be take down those videos and you all don't speak on each other again from there. Like, I feel like that would be a reasonable, I feel like he'd be petty enough to like insist on the public apology. I feel like he'd have to settle for a public retraction is all. Like, that's all like I could even see happening. But like somewhere in the middle, there's some type of compromise I believe could happen. And I don't know. They do need a get along shirt. Deets has them. She can give them. Oh yeah, a couple of them want to be. It is pretty profitable. When was the last video from him on him? Maybe he was sent to C&D too. I didn't look that up. That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't look that up, Deets, because he wasn't really. It was just like a JLR told me that. That's why I said it. Kind of a vibe. So, let's see. Move on. No one ever moves on around these parts here. Listen, I know. It is cheap. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to eat crow. I think picking battles is important. I think so too. Tony didn't offer that she could take her videos down, and her Pennsylvania lawyer said absolutely do not. I'd really struggle with that. I'm just being honest. I get that he wants a fight, but that's because he profits off of that fight. Like, if we're just being honest, right? Of course I want you to fight this. You know, I'm trying to do what's right for you. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be pretty hard. They absolutely do want to be sued, especially the ones that are using attorneys that only get paid if they win because they get to keep the money the subs send them if they don't win. Tony didn't offer that she could take her videos down. Oh no, I read that one. That may settle it. Hey, can you turn that down? She's Louise. You're all up in my ear. Thank you. That may settle it. He may be okay with that if she removes all the videos related to him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Someone effed around, found out. I don't know who that someone is. Just, I'll be sitting with Bendy in the wait and see section. Yes, we are all currently going to be sitting in the wait and see section. C section. Didn't GW say once she couldn't get a job with her record? I cannot with that. With that, plenty hire felons, even if she's a felon, makes it worse. If you can't get a job, anyone can if they want to. So I do know there are a lot of programs that help out people. To me, again, that's not relevant to this particular situation. But yeah, like I don't think I've ever, for me, just speaking for myself, I don't think I've ever held that against her. Like, people make poor decisions, people make bad decisions throughout their life. It doesn't like mean that that's forever who you are. So that permanent injunction part is going to burn her up. Listen, it would me too. Like, I'm just being honest. That would burn my ass too. The case laws I looked at were robbed a church is unrelated to Sebastian's case. Courts may still treat him as a private figure for this claim. Supported by Colbert versus the World Publishing Company. Seems like he's just looking for GW to stop talking about him going further and that she pay his attorney's fees. That's it. I don't think that's. I do think that he wants her to stop talking. He wants her to stop saying these claims about him. I don't know. Honestly, this is all really sad, as it started with a missing kid who is still missing. Absolutely. Absolutely. If court calls him a public figure, must prove actual malice, new, false, or reckless disregard. The CND and her own admission, hospital, not church, strongly support malice if that's required. Can GW prove? No. Oklahoma recognizes accusations of serious crimes as defamation per se. Harm to reputation is presumed. Tony doesn't need to prove financial loss to win liability. Okay. You don't think she'd ever just be quiet about it? I'm just damn glad I never decided to be a content. But here's the thing, do you know how many content creators do not get sued? Like, I think of Lima and BJ, right? Okay. Not Brittany J, the other BJ. The amount of money she had to raise to fight against the claims that Lima was making about her in court, right? And she ended up winning. 2 years later, she ends up winning, right? Okay, great. But she did still have to fight it. She did still have to raise money. But every claim that was made against her, there was no, like, it never happened, or like completely made up and like completely false, right? So when there's no validity, it never happened to the original, of course people want to get behind that. They want to support. They want to be able to say, absolutely not on my watch. Not going to happen, you know? Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Anyone who knows lawyers will fight it all out. Absolutely. Oh, who's it? Chasing. Oh, that's very interesting about jurisdiction. Okay. All right. Okay. Factional drama. Jury might see both sides as part of toxic online feud, diluting the damages. Interesting. I'm against all of the EAFOing. Same. I do not want to EAFO. This will never go to a jury trial. That's my opinion, of course. So why do you think it won't make it to a jury trial? I am curious to know your thoughts of like why you think that. Oh, yeah, Jill, I believe it is. I believe it is. A lot of people with records find it very hard. When's the court date? I don't know because she just got served. Oh, no. There is no court date yet. She has 20 days. So the summons, which I didn't end up showing, but the summons said she has 20 days to respond to the filing. So, and that was as of, I think, 2 days ago. I think said she was served from the date she was served. That's what it is. It's 20 days from the date she was served. And that was 2 days ago, I believe. So, this is why people jump ship out of here. These people are nuts, throw each other under the bus, sue happy, grifting, non-loyal loons, not advocates, not even funny anymore on here. It's just disturbing and sad. That's facts. Absolutely. A missing kid that no one even talks about. I think the hard part is I think it's important to like bring awareness to those things. If that's what your channel is about. I personally don't want any of them, not one of them talking about him at this point. Like I don't think the injunction was a big mistake and got this ball rolling. I don't disagree with that either. I think all of them are shameful. They used Sebastian. They made his disappearance profitable for themselves. Sebastian is the real victim of all of them. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Strongly agree with that. And every single one of them made money hand over fucking fist. There is not one of them. I would almost guarantee that not one of them during the time of the Sebastian talks and panels and streams and things like that, I don't think there's one of them that made below 8,000 in 1 month. I just don't. For those who were covering it at that time, I just couldn't imagine being all of this YouTube chaos into my private life. I mean, life is hard enough without the added BS. Yes, Misty, could you listen? Somebody starts knocking at my door. My first question is, who is it? Because, people don't come to my house. But then I turn around and it's a process server? Nah. Yeah, no. Okay, Zoe, that's tone it down. Reel it back in. Reel it back in. Thank you. Apparently, there is a Smurfs theme song, hip hop version available now. I love it. Oh, wow. This is where I'm at. I think it's funny GW is being sued because she has tried to sue others and even raised money to do so and then never proceeded. So while LOL suits are stupid, this is still funny to me. Okay. She hasn't been served yet, Nunya. She's not at home. She looked up the info. Niece, that is not true. She stated today, maybe you didn't watch it, maybe you haven't seen her throughout the community, I'm not sure. She stated today that she reached out to the server and that either she was served or her lawyer was served. One of the two, but definitely served. You always have X amount of days to respond or you'll lose by default. Yes, that was the other part of it. She will lose by default if she doesn't respond. I'm sure that she'll respond, though. I think she says she hasn't been served yet. Okay. Backing up and looking. Let's say me and Nancy Grace strongly disagree on a case. Do I have the right to go into her history and personal life? Yeah or no? I'm going to go with no, personally. Nah, the trouble was here long before the injunction. It was the wild, wild west on what people were saying on all sides. Why wouldn't it make it to jury trial? If that's what they want, then that's what they will get. That's the stupid American justice system. I don't think so. I think the judge has to actually approve for it to go to jury trial. Shambles, was that on purpose? Okay. If she tries to sue you, yes, you do. Really? Okay. So Jill says, yes, you do go. If she wait. No, her question was, she strongly disagrees on a case. Do I have the right to go in her history and personal life? Okay. So she is not suing her. They just strongly disagree on the case. And Chasing is asking, because we strongly disagree on the case, is it now okay for me to go into her history and personal life? That's the question. Saying the 3 times damages thing was not realistic and don't count chickens before they hatched. Yeah, I don't know. Is Nancy Grace an award-winning YouTuber? Look at all these. Y'all are petty. How can anyone think they'll change laws if they are part of why the law is needed? People need to wake up. Listen. Chasing. If I disagreed with Nancy, big deal. If she said her family is afraid of me and I'm terrorizing them, different story. So Jill, okay. All right. Basically, if you get a C and D, ST, entire, FU. So shut the entire fuck up. Okay. I just can't believe this suing came into this community. We never worried about that years ago. I was trying to think of like where it started or when it started. I actually don't think that it started with BHB. I think it may have started one lawsuit before that, but don't quote me. I don't know. No chasing, even with the injunction, which was a court issue, not a personal life issue, and the judge ruled on that. Basically, okay, Jill, no, I don't. If she sued me for claims on the internet regarding the actual case that isn't Hazen okay to dig into her personal life, can I use my attorney to access financial info? That's something. What? Okay. I am so super duper behind. Oh. Oh, I see it. Okay. All right. I see it now. All right. I'm just making my way to the bottom of the chat. I'm sorry, but I stopped supporting her when she started bragging about winning 3 times the amount. She kept saying, "Give me the money, money." She's going to profit off of a missing child. And here's my other thing, right? So I get winning, right? And being boisterous or like celebrating that, right? It should be deserved, right? Or it should be celebrated, sorry. That I could understand. I get paying any lawyer fees that had to be paid up at that point. I get that part. But if your lawyer is already fully paid and they're not waiting on anything to come back once damages are determined, so they're already paid, and all that money that's left over goes to you, like, what are you doing with that money? So you just profit off of that? Like, that feels wrong to me too. When she didn't pay for legal funds, her subscribers did. True. Okay. Okay. I see it now. All right. JB True. Hold on. Let me see. What did JP say? Some states will consider her as served because she responded, contacted her lawyer, and publicly acknowledged it. Okay. So here's my next question. Okay. People don't know or understand or take the time to look up the laws. They just run with what their fave channel holder says. Listen, that's the first thing I did today. I went up and I started asking ChatGPT, and Chasing was asking ChatGPT, and everybody was looking it up and trying to see. I went to go to the live streams to watch it for myself, to hear what was said. Like, it's crazy. It's not a profit if you spent the money. You're just recouping the money you spent. Regardless of how you got that money, you still had to spend it. Okay, so here's my question. If I give you $5 right now, Ash, right? And I say, here, Ash, this is for you. I don't know. Go buy, I don't know, some fuzzy dice for the trunk. Okay? And I give you $5 for that. And then you go to buy the dice and somebody gives you $100. You profited $95 from going to get the dice. Like, there is a profit involved in that. If for example, if what you spent was $50,000 and you get awarded $300,000, there is a $250,000 profit in that. Like, that's To me, that's math. That's not like I don't know. That doesn't change for me. I don't know. It doesn't give carte blanche to dig into unrelated personal matters, for example, unrelated financial issues, medical history, unless they are directly claimed as damages. So here's my question, though, Chasing. If I Googled their name, right? If I Google their name and all these articles come up, and I start reading the articles allegedly that are out there for this person, is that going to be wrong? I don't know. I don't know. So much frivolity, like the... Oh, I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to read that out loud. I don't want to read it because I don't know if it's... I don't know anything about it, so I don't want to repeat it. All right. You're not making money. Nanya, I'm not going to tell you how I know, but Ash274 knows exactly what she's talking about. Okay. Well, I don't doubt that. Like, I'm going to make my channel the Krama Court. I'm the judge. We will have random people as jurors, and the two beefing can come and plead their case, and we will rule on it. Listen, you need to have two people representing them to show the receipts and the other stuff. GW may have won the anti-slap, but will they win the appeal? Most likely. I don't know, but most likely they will. I don't really know from there. Once they were sued and won, they had a right to it off of whatever it is. They didn't start the lawsuit. I know. I'm not saying they started it. I'm saying they will profit off of it. That doesn't change. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm not saying, well, I don't think they deserve, 300,000. That's excessive. I think that they should be able to maybe take their families on vacation and have a little stress relief, like, something like that. Sure. Like, they should have some money to be able to do that because it has been a stressful time. I get that completely. But again, you give them 300,000 or award them 300,000 or 600,000 or whatever the fuck these millions that people are talking about. That's a profit. That is absolutely profiting. Can I be the one who says, hear ye, hear ye? I just want to be the bailiff, but don't think I'm allowed. Nunya, you're in litigation with them. It is up to your attorney to request appropriate documents. You can Google, but can you then come online and spread these things? I personally, okay. If I find out that somebody's attempting to serve me, number one, am I surprised by being served if I had a C&D that I said, fuck this C&D? Why would I think anybody else is serving it? Well, Nunya, because Brittany's been hinting at something's coming. Brittany's been saying she's collected for this lawyer. Something's going to happen. So could she have thought it's Brittany without getting a C&D? Absolutely. I can understand that thought process. All right, great. So you don't really know who it is. Could be anybody at this point. Who knows how many other C&Ds may be out there for shit you said, right? Allegedly said, excuse me. So, okay, great. You got that point. We understand that. Now you find out you've been served. You call your lawyer. Your lawyer says, fuck those people. We're going to fight them. Well, I can't fight them because I'm in Pennsylvania, but I'm going to go find you the best attorney that there ever could be. I'll help you find an attorney in Oklahoma. I think I may know somebody who knows somebody, And so they got this conversation and the attorney's like, yeah, fuck that. This is retaliation. They're trying to come for you. We're going to be bulldogs, right? God, it's not always great to be a bulldog. Sometimes you need to be you don't need to be a chihuahua. Sometimes you just got to be a golden retriever. It's how life goes. So then what do? Do you stay quiet about it until you can find a lawyer that advises you? Do you stay quiet about it and say, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to see what's going on. And when I'm in a better position to speak on this, and when I have some clarity, when I've got some possible solutions on the table, I'm going to have this conversation. Is that what you do? No, not if you're trying to EAFO, F around and find out. And boom, you hit the live button, but it's only for members only. Pay me, bitches. It's only for members only. So it's just a small group of people. They're just my friends I was going to tell about this shit. Which, of course, fucking JP, that cunt, had to go and clip that shit, and boom, the whole thing, you know, now the whole community knows. And then Queen Bee goes live. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play your own words so people can hear what you said. Also, I'm not a member of yours. So I can't actually play your live stream with your own words. So I'm just going to go ahead and just be the first person reporting on it. Because if you ain't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. It's crazy. Okay. I don't see this profiting off of a missing child. I just don't. If they had made a lawsuit and made money, it'd be different. But not because they were so. Okay. So yes. Okay. All right. So there I can agree with that, Ash. I believe that they are profiting, period. Not that they are specifically profiting off of a missing kid. Because in the same pattern, right? It could have been, right? The conversation could have been all of them, barbecue, granny. They had a choice, I believe, to say, listen, I'm the person in charge here, and I'm telling you what I want moving forward is I only want my legal fees paid for. That's it. That's all. They pay my legal fees. That's it. We're done. Like, that's all I want this squash for. Anything over that, I don't want it because this has a bunch of bad juju about a missing kid. They could have done that. But I just say profiting, period. They are profiting off of it. And that's the logical. Pennsylvania, hold on. The reason she is being sued is because of Sebastian's missing child. She's expecting 3 times in punitive damages, and she's been very delighted to discuss all of the things she's willing to take from them. Their houses, their cars, I mean, everything, down to the crackers and the fly traps, the only thing she's leaving behind. Has she ever mentioned setting up anything in Sebastian's name? Nope, she wants the money. Pennsylvania anti-SLAPP statute doesn't give triple damages. It only awards attorney fees and costs. Triple damages in Pennsylvania happen under consumer protection laws, not anti-SLAPP. Listen, listen, Chasing, don't you be out here starting those rumors. They don't like that. Frivolous lawsuits should be punished. I agree with that. Frivolous lawsuits should be punished. I don't disagree. Ash, question. What if you get sued after receiving a C&D and you didn't listen? To me, that's asking for a lawsuit. Did they get C&Ds before the injunction went out? I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. That one I don't remember. Who determines if it's frivolous, us or the court? The courts. For sure the courts. Because I would determine it's frivolous. A court might feel differently. For filing any frivolous lawsuits, it's got to be legitimate. If your litigation, the anti-SLAPP isn't over fully, right? The damages haven't been determined yet, right? If you found them online, aren't they already online? So how are you then spreading them is my question. That's how that went down? What? I don't even know what I said 3 minutes ago to laugh at the chat. I paid $3 whole stupid to watch that. Clipping it was my right. Oh, God. 3 issues. Number 1, the RICO lost. Number 2, anti-SLAPP won, but not fully settled. 3, new Oklahoma defamation suit. Yes, I agree. All 3 separate. Plus the potential for, I believe there's talks of a countersuit. That may have to be put on the back burner for right now until after the winning and damages part is done. But I know there's been some talk of a countersuit. I would question my life choices if I get a notice of service and I have to go down the list of people it could be, right? This entire situation is because he is still missing. Yeah. Just be decent humans and this shit won't happen. It really isn't even about decent humanity. Like, it really is just like maybe just don't say shit flat out. They need to sue Lesniak for malpractice. If they were smart, he has missed the simplest of deadlines over and over again. But how is that malpractice? That feels like a little bit of a stretch to me. Doesn't know how to buy memberships, to be fair. Girl, she knows how to sell them. Just saying. Okay, I understand the records are public and they're public and there. What the fuck does a medical suit have to do with an anti-slap Sebastian or Rico? Because the medical suit was to prove like this is a bad guy representing the dad. That's the only point. It was just to show he's a bad guy. They're profiting because sympathy donations and super chats are guaranteed, in your opinion. Okay, Rico cases you can win 3 times damages, but slap cases you can't. It's why they move through the case so fast. You have to Google it if I understood right. I know wonderful people who have been sued, sadly. I'm glad I'm just a peanut with the real job, peasant with the real job, right? I would want something for being drug into a frivolous lawsuit. Okay. All right. No judgment from me here for that. Even then I don't judge it now. I just am like, it's a fact. You'd be profiting off of it, but you're saying, listen, I don't mind profiting if you just drug me into some shit and stress me the fuck out, and I didn't need to do like we didn't even need to go there. I get that completely. And Granny has to be responsible and humble about that and how she flaunted the winning and being super happy about that. Kids, what? Happy about that kids from home? I don't know what you're talking about there, Brantley. What we don't talk about no kids. I'm guessing that's a wrong, like a typoed word because you don't typically. GW didn't get a C&D before the PA case. Not sure about barbecue. I'm just saying there is no automatic multiplier for an anti-slap. We got that. GW ran that the ran with that the 3 times lawyer fees like it was a fact. Maybe she should have Googled it along with the better tattoo artist. Don't be coming for the artist. Listen, the artist just did what they were asked to do. Don't be coming for it. People will just repeat what other people say, and it's so transparent. Lame. Absolutely. I agree. Chasing. I think that's why I keep trying to say no multiplier. We got it. No multiplier. Now the judge can award damages for sure. I'm only saying that it's not an automatic 3 times. It's simple. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, Granny. Well, honestly, Okie, none of us really have nice things to say typically, and we're all here. So I don't think even that's the problem. You keep saying BHB, but if you're, and I haven't mentioned her, but if you're comfy with potentially someone being homeless, that's all right. I see you grow. Oh, what happened? Somebody wants somebody to be homeless? I don't remember, but Seth definitely sent out a C&D's pre-injunction. Not 100% sure if she was included. Okay. I couldn't imagine having to make my living off of this type of, listen, this is fickle as fuck. I couldn't imagine knowing how I was going to pay my bills next month when every dime I'm about to get in this paycheck is based off of how much drama can I do, how much entertainment can I provide, how much can I drag people, how much shit can I talk about people, how many people can I bring in and make feel sad for me to send me money. I couldn't imagine. No, thank you. I'm good. Give me salary or give me death. I'm good. Maybe I may do hourly because you get overtime pay. That's the only, come up for me. So Jill, you've seen GW's lawyer bills for a case that's not even over yet and have seen what she paid? No? Then yeah, it's alleged. Not allegedly to me. Hold on. Allegedly. Nope, she's still out of pocket. Donos didn't cover it all. Well, I think that's because it continues to go on and on and on. Like I think that would be I think that'd be fair. I mean, it is alleged, but because we all don't know. Like Brittany or not, support her or don't. But if anything, this should open eyes about privacy and maliciously putting out falsities. You would think all of them. B10 told them today. BTM on Queen's panel said today, I told Queen and Clue, I'm telling you, y'all better lock down your stuff. Lock down your stuff right now in case they come for you. Even if you lock down your stuff today, it don't mean that shit didn't exist back then. If they already got it, they already got it. It's too late. How about everybody, we need to shut the fuck up and we need to start saying, in my opinion, allegedly, I think. That's what you need to say. How you say for a total when that case isn't even over. I'm going to have to call. Well, okay. You may not see a total bill. I could see seeing invoices though, JP. That would be, that lawsuit is frivolous. Fucking Rico. Shut up, crazy people. Who said that's not, I mean, I don't know what we're saying here. Okay. All right. Are we done? Are we done here? Everybody got their little rocks off? Everybody learned about EAFOing? Stop playing with the listen, Chasing wants y'all to know, okay? She designed that tattoo and she does not appreciate y'all talking shit about, okay? She was asked, she was given a couple of things, she put it into AI, she sent the results. The rest of it is on everybody else, on the artist, on the canvas, everybody else. But you're not going to keep coming for her and the AI design. Oh, Jesus be offense. If you are being sued, you have to preserve everything, yes, but only after you've been served. So, because I know of somebody right now who is having to pay Google $2,500 per transcript, allegedly, in my opinion, from what I've heard, on the streets. And they're having to pay right now because they deleted streams to try and hide what they had done. So, damn, that sucks. Again, EAFO, you F around, you find out. And F is not really an F, it's an EFF. F around and find out. Look at Chasey, I'm sorry for my tattoo comments. I talk shit to her face. That's cringe. It's cute, Chasing, just a little large. Oh, okay, excuse me. She wasn't asked. She said it. I did the AI thing. It's cute. Leave it the fuck alone. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Misunderstood. Okay. All right. And Nunya, you didn't even read the freaking documents. The fact. Yes, I did. We got to the end. The only thing I didn't do is repeat over and over all the different per se's. Because they literally say, like, it's 10 numbers in there. And all of them say the same thing except for the first one. Go to line 20. Oh, we got way past line 20. We got to like 102 because we even went over the damages. Hold on. Let's go back up to 20. God damn, you're a needy bitch sometimes. Sheesh. You're worse than Deeds. Deeds normally bosses me around. She goes on vacation and somehow, some way, you got replaced. Line number 20? You got to line 20? I did my research many months ago regarding the RICO and found supporting documents on Google ChatGPT, but in the last 15 hours, the info on the internet now is very limited. I can't figure out why. Interesting. I don't know. I know, Allie. It's the worst feeling ever to feel bad for somebody that just you don't even want to feel bad for. I get it. It was that she should have Googled a better artist than fussed at me. Okay, I don't know what you want me to read. Look it. Let me share this for you. Chasey just want us to get her through the workday and stuff. This is line 20 right here. I didn't say go. I meant you only went. Are you freaking kidding me? I only went to. Did you log out of here to go to work or something? You probably were over in ChatGPT Googling so much. Listen, okay, look, this is the claim that Chasing is making about me. The last line I read was in 2000 or 2001, Mr. Mathis and his infant son were traveling in their vehicle when they were struck by an uninsured driver outside St. Louis, Missouri. Mr. Mathis was transported from the accident scene to Missouri Baptist Hospital in Sullivan, Missouri. Okay, that's where she claims I stopped. Okay. This screenshots, live stream timestamps that I showed the streams of. Another screenshot. The defamation, fuck that, cease and desist. And then I got into the libel per se. I read this one, but I did skip over, and I said that, I skipped over the slander. We went and Googled the slander parts of it, but I skipped over this part because it basically says the same things over and over. These are all the same for slander and for the false light and invasion of privacy. What did I miss? What did I miss? Just asking for a friend. I'll wait for your response. And who's the, I think it was a bird person in the beginning. I just want you to go ahead and we're going to take a momentary break so that I can have a drink of my Dr. Pepper for a moment. Okay? Here you go. Just for you, Chasing.
Let's go. Get out. Come on, let's go. The bus already outside, man. Y'all got to let's go. Let's go. Y'all get out here.
There you go. Just a little bit. That's all you get. Okay. All right. Okay. Your phone died and you came back? Okay. Well, I'm glad that you were able to come back to us. Okay. No, nobody's kung fu fighting. Okay. All right. Well, we definitely have been live for way longer than an hour today. I don't even know how long the first time was. I got to fix my thumbnail and everything from that stupid mistake. But can we kung fu fight or nah? Yeah, we can do it real quick, but then we got to go. What time is it? Okay. All right. I got to try and talk to my friend today. You keep wanting to keep me away from her. And while I see she's online, I got to, get it in where I fit in. It's how the day goes. Here you go. Have a good rest of your guys' day. Thanks for joining us. Go fight somebody. Same, JP.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up, they were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their part. From a fainting to a step, and a kicking from the hip. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Yeah. But they fought with expert timing. There was Funky Billy Jim and Little Sammy John. He said, here comes the big boss. Let's get it on. We took the bow and made a stand. Started swaying with the hand. Sudden motion.